that these entrepreneurs lack an enabling ecosystem. And an enabling ecosystem, what we always go wrong, or where we always go wrong, is the assumption that all entrepreneurs need is just finance, just capital, and capital to us is just financial resources. So what we are doing is going beyond finance and really going to the bottom of what are the other challenges that innovators are facing, and how can we plug in to solve these challenges, either directly through us or indirectly through our partners. We've identified that businesses don't just lack capital, they lack knowledge, that is intellectual capital, and they lack network. So what we are doing is playing a middle ground, trying to plug in these three different elements that businesses need. How do we do that? Through knowledge, we have our business consulting and research team at Intellecab. This team is the one that does research, does capacity building initiatives, all aimed to building the capacities of entrepreneurs in terms of intellectual capital. So we have different arms, and one is Avishkar. Avishkar is our impact fund that is based in India, and what we consider as impact enterprises. These are enterprises that are in key sectors that are again key to people who are living at the bottom of the pyramid, and these sectors are healthcare, they are water and sanitation, agri, financial inclusion, education. We have Arohan. Arohan is a microfinance institution that is based in India, so not currently financing entrepreneurs in Africa. And then we have Tribe. Tribe is a fintech that is part of the Avishka Intellecab group that again focuses on financing small businesses in India. Our session today really seeks to bring in together people who are harnessing various forms of capital. So I'll introduce Peter Scott. I'll just let him tell as much about what his company does and how they are really harnessing, what form of capital they are harnessing.
So yeah, thanks for having me here with you. So I've worked in the space for over 20 years, trying to help save forests and lives. So we've invested over $10 million to build Sub-Saharan Africa's only modern cook stove manufacturing facility. So we employ over 230 people, 60% of them are women. And it helps people save about 56% of their fuel costs. And you can see what the mix is going to be. It's going to be a lot of wood and a lot of charcoal and just a little bit of LPG. And you can see here that actually urban reliance on charcoal is going up. Places like Kenya, LPG usage is increasing, but Kenya is not necessarily the rest of Sub-Saharan Africa.
What does consumer capital mean nowadays? I mean, we've seen a whole narrative change, especially when it comes to consumerism. Nowadays, you go to the hospital with like WebMD on, and the doctor is telling you this, and you're like, oh, but actually my symptoms sort of go hand in hand with this. And so we have moved away from the industry driving the market to more consumer awareness. And so what does that mean for some of the enterprises that you're working with who are building their impact story?
In this day and age, consumers are incredibly empowered.
Correct.
With information. And as a consumer, you have the ability to verify any information that's put before you. Consumers are incredibly empowered information-wise in this day and age. And that's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing for businesses, because it means that you could easily lose customers just like that. An empowered customer is a good thing, but it's then important for us as businesses to be able to empower customers with information that adds value to their lives and that connects your brand or your product with value in their life.
We're looking at, yes, they've given them loans, but what happens after they've been given that loan? Do we have someone who works alongside those businesses to make sure that those funds actually go in to build the business? And so, of course, we come back into the businesses again and we start talking to those businesses about then how do you support your teams? Because in every organizations, your teams are the greatest assets. And so, yes, we will work with banks to reach out to the entrepreneurs and then reach out to the employees of those businesses that the banks work with. But also on the other side, we work with growing small and growing businesses, large corporations, to really help them support their organization in terms of growth and ensuring that that growth is sustainable.
Do you feel that companies are ready to invest in developing the human capital that they have, or is it still a nascent market where people are yet to understand the value of it?
The first challenge is always money, yeah? No one has money to invest in talent. Great. So that was the initial, maybe 5-6 years ago. But now I feel in the last 3-4 years that there has been an incredible shift. And we've seen this also in our business. In terms of, we are working with different investors or foundations to support their grantees or investee companies. We are also seeing a bit of shift also in that accelerators, incubators, everybody else in the ecosystem wanting to give more support.
The bank really plays a key role in being like an engine. And maybe just to give you examples,
Yes.
at the bank we have been able to do much through partnerships. I think the word partnership keeps coming up, and I think no one can do it alone. We've been partnering with Kenya Forest Service. Actually, we started in 2007, where we were doing a project in Mau Forest catchment area. And 2007 was a particular year, I think, for most Kenyans will recall. It was just after post-election violence. And we are working with groups who were fighting some months before. But we realized by promoting this conservation of the environment, showing them the need to preserve forest, we were able to come together. And this was even an award-winning project in Rome. So, and the reason why maybe people go there maybe to cut trees and things like this is because they didn't have that opportunity. They lacked something. That's why they ventured into the forest. Another project I think with Kenya Forest we've done in arid and semi-arid areas where we've been promoting plantation of trees. And actually people get curious and ask, how come banks finance people to plant trees?
Yeah.
Because you can imagine you plant a tree today and it will mature in how many years? 10, 20 years. But through an innovative way of financing, we've been able to support people there to plant trees, such that we give them a loan. Part of the loan they will use it in planting trees, and part of the other loan they will do some other economic activity.
At NIC Bank, we have a very specific focus on the SME sector. I believe you have seen in last year's presidential roundtable, we actually were the bank that was present trying to drive conversations around the challenges that SMEs face. The reality on the ground is that today SMEs contribute to about 80% of the employment in the country, and that's really a big economic driver. So if SMEs are not well supported, it has a negative effect on the economy of the country as a whole. So as a bank, we looked at it holistically, and we said SMEs need more than just financing. So yes, we do have financing solutions. We have rolled out a lot of easy to access loans through mobile platforms, digital solutions that allow SMEs access to financing. But beyond that, we also try and drive a lot of SME education. We have partnerships with organizations like Strathmore University, where we have negotiated, sort of a good discount that enables them to go into a SEDEC program. This program is aimed at empowering SMEs in helping them understand how to run a good business, put in the right structures, because we realize that SMEs fail in the first 2 to 3 years. And the reason they fail is not because they don't have a good business model or they don't have a good idea, but they just don't have the right structures, they don't have the right guidance, they don't have the right books, they don't kept their books properly, so when they come to a bank to ask for a loan, they ask for their books and they don't have anything. They don't have a good marketing plan, so they're not able to grow and diversify and market themselves. The other reason that we actually sort of used to drive this engagement from a strategic perspective was that, as Kenyans, it will take all of us. So beyond just the bank itself, we took it up as the citizens of this nation. And we said, the country, we owe it to our future generations to leave this nation in a better place than we found it. And the truth of the matter is that as an organization, everybody around us is talking the story. Everybody is tweeting, everybody is complaining, everybody is pointing fingers, but nobody is actually stepping out to make that fast, bold move. And therefore, we took it upon ourselves to actually say we will step out and invite others to come along with us. So indeed, our campaign is really a rallying call, inviting all the other corporates to join us as we seek to change the story.
Finance is actually the center in which everything revolves around. And for us as an organization, we are promoting a shift where when you are thinking lending, when you are thinking finance, you think of the impact of your money going out there, and therefore designing products that are able to help those people borrowing money or investors, for example, putting money, to be able to consider the future of their investments moving forward. And for us as an organization, of course, we continue ensuring that all the players, business, government, and the public, are able to play their roles. And that is why, as part of ensuring that we secure natural capital moving forward, we are pushing for what we call a global New Deal for nature. Next year, both, or rather the three conventions, Convention on Biological Diversity, the Paris Agreement, and the Sustainable Development Goals, meet to make a decision on the next step. For us as an organization, we think that we need to seriously make decisions on how we can secure the future, whether from a business point of view, whether from a government point of view, or the public point of view. And we look at this as one way of making a decision that will save us moving forward.